Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So we're going to get started by prepping the inside of my extensions. Since I will be using extensions that are not pre-etched, we're pretty much going to have to create our own etching. So to do that, I will be taking my e-file and a mini sanding band, and I'm basically going to go up into the point where I think my natural nail stops. So if you don't know where that point is, here's something I like to do. Typically, I might take a little permanent marker and mark them. However, if you don't have a permanent marker within arm's reach or at all, you can do this here. So what you do is take your size of extension, you're going to place it on top of your natural nail, and then you're going to take the e-file while it's on a very, very low speed. I think mine is at 1000 RPM. Then you're going to gently touch where your natural nail stops, and it's going to create a little mark. Then you'll know how far up to go with your e-file. It's also good to mark up until the point where your natural nail stops, because when you go to apply your glue later, you'll also have a, I guess you can say, guideline of how far up to place your gel glue. So this can have a dual purpose. But I think if you're a beginner, this is a very good hack to do, because you'll start to get used to how far up to etch based off of just eyeballing it. And then as you get more comfortable with your glue, you'll just naturally know how much to put. So once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my natural nails. I do recommend, if you're going to be using your e-file to etch the bottom half of your extensions, that you do that part first, so all the dust and everything isn't getting caught in your prep and it's just out of the way for now. So here I'm just pushing those cuticles back with my cuticle pusher, and then I'm going to switch to the other side and just scrape any of the dead skin off of the nail plate. That comes up pretty easily. I just did cuticle work when I filmed my last video, so I'm actually going to skip the cuticle nippers. I don't feel like I need it. You don't want to do the cuticle nippers too much or too frequently, because you can cause your cuticle area to become inflamed. For me, I'm filming content sometimes twice a week, so that's not really necessary. But if you're doing your nails at home, like most of you are, and you're changing them every 2 to 3 weeks, then you would do your cuticle nipper step. But if you're going to be changing them twice a week like me, I don't recommend it at all, doing it that much. So now I'm going to go in with my dehydrator. This one here is from Model 1s. Y'all are probably so sick of hearing me say that. But I'm going to use this one out, and then I'm going to purchase another one to see if dehydrator is really that different across many brands. So we're going to see. But anyway, I'm going to go in with the matching primer here and place this on the natural nail. And once it's on, I'm going to let it dry down. We are going to apply a gel glue to the entire nail and making sure to do a full cure afterwards. And then it'll be time to apply these extensions. For gel glue today, I'm going to be using this one here from Mia's Secret, and I like using this one with my Macart extensions because these ones are a little bit flatter. Because I have curved nail beds, a glue that's not super thick is going to be best with it for my nails. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these like normal, and then I'm going to flash cure. If it's your first time ever applying gel extensions, basically you're going to place a little bit of glue on the bottom half of the extension, a little bit on the left side, a little bit on the right side, and then you're going to pull your brush downward to get a ball of glue on the bottom half of the extension. And then you're going to line it up with your cuticle area and gently press down in a 45-degree angle. And then once that glue hits right at the tip of your natural nail, you're going to hurry up and put it in the flash curing lamp so that it can freeze itself in place. For flash curing, it's really going to be dependent upon the light you're using and the gel glue you're using. They don't all flash cure the same. This one is one that takes longer to flash cure, and I have learned that the hard way through trial and error. So I like to sit here for a long time, because if I move too soon, they will cause havoc. So keep that in mind. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this for the rest of the fingers. And if it so happens to be that glue is seeping out of the sides, I put my hand in the flash curing lamp, and then with my other hand I grab my brush and some alcohol and immediately clean the excess glue from the edges, because 1, you shouldn't have any gel glue on the skin. 2, it's gonna make it so that you don't have to spend time removing it after it cures and hardens. It's a little bit harder to get off than it is versus now. So now that I'm on my final finger, I'm actually going to place my hand into my bigger lamp to do a full cure for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to take my e-file and remove the shine from the entire extension. And as soon as I get around my cuticle area, I'm going to flip the e-file on its side a little bit at a diagonal angle. And then I'm going to gently go from left to right. And basically what this is doing is pretty much sealing the cuticle and filing the bottom half of the extension down so that it blends seamlessly with my natural nail. For these particular extensions, I do not like skipping this step because the cuticle area is slightly thicker than, let's say, the opera tips that have a very thin cuticle area. And to get that natural look, you don't want your extensions to look super bulky around the cuticle area. So to prevent that, I do recommend filing them down just a little bit. All right, so once I'm done, I'm gonna get the dust out of the way, and boy is there a lot of dust. I tried to get it off with my little scrubby brush and it was not doing the job, so I had to actually get up this time and wash my hands with soap and water. So if you need a bathroom break when you're doing your nails, I recommend taking it right here at this point. Next, I'm going to be going in with a little bit of acetone to seal the cuticles a little bit more. I really like using the combo of the e-file plus the acetone. I think it gives the best results, but you can choose either or. I like to use this one here from Onyx Professionals. I find it a lot at Walmart for cheapest, but if Walmart is out of it, TJ Maxx always has it for $3.99. I think at Walmart it's like $2 or $3 or something if you're in the US, so check those two places out. If you're doing this and you notice a white film starts to form on your extensions, sometimes it happens with acetone or even alcohol depending on the brand of extensions you're using. Just take a buffing block, buff it away, and it should come right off. I've had this happen a couple of times. I can't remember exactly the brand, but it does happen from time to time. And I've also seen a couple of you ask questions about this in the comments. So buffing block, buff it away, and it should be gone. And now it's time for the nail art. And if you've been here since the beginning of this channel, you know I used to wear this base color out. I mean, every single video I would pull it out, hit the bottom of the container multiple times, keep repurchasing it. This is Beetle's Mocha Mousse Cake, aka Beetle's B071. It's just such a good tone. It has a beigey undertone to it, a slight hint of peach. It's just really good. I love it still to this day, but I'm going to apply 2 coats of this. Typically, I like my base colors to be 3 coats, but with this one 2 coats is enough. And I'm sitting here remembering how it just glides on the nail, which is why I fell in love with it in the first place, along with the color, of course. Now that I have that applied, I am going to go ahead and do a full cure. Now we're going to draw some French tips. So what I'm going to be doing is taking this polish here from Model 1s. This is a beige, and typically I always say to y'all, draw your French tips with either a painting gel or a polish that is 1 coat coverage. This polish is not 1 coat coverage because I didn't have a beige polish that was 1 coat coverage, but this one will do the job because we're going to be covering up most of the beige anyway. So to do the French tips, I'm just going to start off by placing 2 diagonal lines on the nail, 1 on each side, and then I'm just going to curve my brush back and forth until my smile line looks okay. Honestly, at this point, it's not necessary to stress yourself out to get perfect French tip lines because most of it is going to be covered up anyway in the later steps. So basically you just need a general guideline that you are satisfied with. Once I have my outline done, I'm gonna fill in the empty space with the rest of the polish. As you can see, my lines are not super perfect, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even pressed to get it there at this point because I know I'm gonna cover a majority of these lines up later. So we're gonna go ahead and finish the French tips on all of the other fingers except for the ring finger. We're gonna go ahead and skip that one for now. So I'm going to be using DVOK's Marble Fit collection, but first we're going to lay down the Marble Fit base gel only where the French tip is, so essentially on top of that beige. And this is needed for those polishes to bloom out as beautifully as they do. So now I'm going to go in with my black and I'm going to create horizontal lines in the center of the nail first, but I am going to do so with a dotting tool because the bristle brush that's in the Marble Fit polishes is a little bit too wide for the area that I'm going to be working on the nail, and I wanted to have a little bit more control over how they bloom. Once I have my horizontal lines drawn, I'm going to turn my nail to the side and create circular shapes all the way down the nail, and I'm making sure to cover most of that beige. I'm actually going to be flash curing between each finger, but before I do so, I'm going to be taking a flat brush and alcohol and wiping off the black that may have bloomed onto the neutral parts of the nail. And for flash curing, I think I did like 10-ish seconds for this and it worked just fine. For the ring finger, I am going to start by laying down the Marble Fit base gel again, but this time I'm going to be creating dots on the nail, starting at the base of my nail and working my way up, but I am going to curve the line a little bit. I wanted to add a little bit of gold on this nail, so I'm going to be taking the McCart rhinestone glue and placing 3 small dots in random areas, basically where there's empty space. And then I'm going to go in with some smaller golden pearls and place them right on top of that rhinestone glue. We're going to be doing technically an isolated chrome design on the nail. So I'm going to be applying the DVOK Zero Matte Top Gel to all of the nails. I forgot to film this, but I did also apply this all over the ring finger as well. This top gel works fantastic for isolated chrome designs. I have been looking for something that is this good, and finally I think I found the answer, and it's this. So you just want to apply a very thin layer of this and then cure it in a lamp for about 60 seconds. Next, I'm going to go in with this product here, which is the Fanziness One Step Gel Polish. According to the brand, it has base gel, the color, and then top gel in it. So you just apply it and then go about your day. I can't speak for how it works directly on the nail, but for isolated chrome designs, I really like this as well. It reminds me of the doughy multi-white that we unboxed, as far as you can just go in with the chrome after we're done, but it's just thinner in consistency than that product. I am going to be creating a smile line directly under that animal print. But this time, because I want the gold to sit slightly raised, I am basically making really short strokes because I don't want the product to self-level down to be super flat. It may seem like this may take a long time, but it doesn't, because you already have essentially your French tip done. You're basically just outlining it. So once we're done here, I am going to cure for a full 60 seconds, and then I'm going to be taking my gold chrome and placing it on top of that black polish. The chrome is going to stick right on top of that black polish because according to the brand, there's already top gel in here, so it glides right on there and gives a very metallic finish. It's also not going to stick to other parts of the nail because the matte top gel prevents it from doing so. So this has been my favorite combo for isolated chrome designs because I have been putting them to rest or on the back burner because doing isolated chrome can be a little complex if you don't have the right products, but now I feel like I have the right tools to do it, so you'll be seeing more of that from me. So once I'm done applying my chrome, I'm going to dust it away, and you can see it just glides right off. And then if there are any areas where you see a little bit of chrome that you don't want it, you can clean it up with alcohol and a flat brush and it should come right on off. So now I'm going to seal that gold chrome in with a top gel. The one I'm using here is nice and thick, so it'll keep the chrome on, and I'm just going to take a very thin liner brush and only go on top of the gold line. If you have a good liner brush like this one here from Estonia, this part of the process is super easy. So we're going to do our final cure, and here are what the nails look like all done. So I'm gonna be honest right quick. I was actually going to trash this video and not even post it because when I was doing the animal print, I hated the way it looked, but as I added the gold on there, it did help tie it together and I ended up liking it. So if you enjoyed this video, and you leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, let me know how you feel, because the jury's still out. Like, I'm 50-50. But anyway, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so on your way out. And in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.